Hey, Phil Mackey here. If you're an SEO or webmaster or website owner, it's likely that you've run into one or more of these I consider web crawling site auditing tools. I think these are quite powerful and there's a different use case for kind of each of these. So by the end of this video, I hope you have a good idea of which one's for you. Let's get started. Alright, first up we have Google Search Console. There's a lot of reasons to still use Google Search Console. I know the new version isn't quite as featured rich as the others, but there's still a lot of cool stuff here. So I use it primarily to look at what keywords and pages are getting impressions and clicks. I still think there's a lot of value in that. You can look for coverage issues here, which is quite good. Submit your sitemaps, which is super important. And then last, there's been so much focus on core web vitals that really to not have Google Search Console on your site is kind of puts you at a disadvantage. The cool thing is I've created a video on how to get Google Search Console validated via domain validation, which I think is quite powerful. So I recommend you check that out, but there's still a lot of reasons to do Google Search Console. Again, you get enhanced sort of performance, pages and query data on clicks and impressions for your site, and then also you can submit sitemaps. Again, the last thing is core web vitals has become such a big focus for Google that it's really not a good idea to miss this opportunity to get data from Google itself. So hey, up next we have Bing Webmaster Tools. Now I really do think Bing is putting a lot of effort into making their Webmaster Tools quite usable, and you're getting a lot for free from Bing Webmaster Tools. Again, you have similar URL performance, which I think is important. You can submit your sitemaps, but what I think really helps is this SEO report. Now every site is likely going to have some degree of optimization needed, and the cool thing is when you go into Bing Webmaster Tools, you can check out all of these Site Explorer sitemap stuff, but there's a lot of value in auditing your site for SEO best practices using the SEO reports. Again, Bing Webmaster Tools is free, and I have to share something with you. Since you've already likely validated your site with Google Webmaster Tools, validating via Bing Webmaster Tools is super easy as long as you have Google Search Console domain installed. That's how it does its validation. I'm not sure what agreement they worked out on, but they're really trying to make it ease of adoption and ease of use. I think, quite frankly, the SEO reports are a lot more usable than some of the things that you get from Google Search Console. So in my book, Bing Webmaster Tools is likely one of those must-haves, because if you already have Google Search Console, you can get in here and start using Bing Webmaster Tools right away at no cost, right? So the real value is in this SEO report, and I found that when I work on these SEO report action items, my sites typically perform better because you're addressing those SEO sort of problems. All right, and we'll move on to our next one. Hey, so the last one is Ahrefs Auditor. This is quite a thorough auditor, and it crawls your site about once a week after you validate it with Google Search Console domain validation. Again, similar to Bing Webmaster Tools, they made this way easy to get in there. If you have that Google domain validation completed, you get a health score. And inside your weekly report card, you get action items that you can just go ahead and take care of in order to improve your health score. I can't recommend this tool enough, and there's all sorts of new features coming out all the time. I gotta mention, I'm really excited when I see Ahrefs roll out a new feature, because quite often they're very well put together. Recently, they've done new internal linking opportunities, which I think is awesome. So I certainly am going to be checking this out. And they continually roll out with new stuff all the time. So I can't recommend this tool enough if you already have Ahrefs. So this is a very thorough, robust tool that's going to give you sort of a weekly report card for you to work on. And again, they've done a fantastic job. I can't recommend Ahrefs enough. So Now you're probably wondering which one of these is your best choice, and not to give it all away, but I really think if you are an SEO contractor, or if you are a web designer, or someone who's in charge of a website, maybe it's a business website, I can't recommend the three of these enough, right? Because not all of the data is consistent across the board. With Google Search Console, you need to submit your sitemap and you want to get the core vitals. With Bing Webmaster Tools, they've got a really great just SEO report strategy, and you can go in there and just work on this, as well as improve your visibility within Bing. And then again, I think probably the 800-pound gorilla here is Ahrefs Audit, which I can't recommend enough. So again, if you have Google Search Console validated through the domain validation, which I've shown in my previous video, you can get access to all three, assuming you have an Ahrefs account, and I don't see a reason why you wouldn't have all three. So I hope that's helpful. Please let me know if this video has helped you kind of figure out which one's best for you. Again, I think there's a case to be made that all of them have their strengths and they all deserve a spot within your SEO toolkit. But if you have any questions, please reach out in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.